Hello everyone. So in today's video we are going to see another problem based on recursion. So the problem is printing n to 1 using recursion. So this is basically a very easy problem, pretty much easy problem, but I would suggest you that you also practice these easy problems first so that you can reach up to a level where you will be getting the concept of recursion and how to write the base cases and how it what are the main function calls that we are going to see in this video, so that it will be easy for you to understand recursion in a better way, and you don't need to memorize the recursion calls or anything like that. So let's start with the question now that we have. So the question is printing n to 1 using recursion. Basically, given a number, we are given a number as input, which is 5. What we have to do is we have to simply print all the numbers starting from 5 till 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Similarly, if a number 4 is given, we will do is we will simply print 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a very basic problem. We can also solve this problem by using loops, but in this video we are going to see by using recursion, because we need to understand how recursion works. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all, I would be writing a function, a recursive function, I would say, which will print numbers from n to 1. Okay, and it will take the number from which we have to print, like the starting number. And now, for suppose we have to print 5, then what should happen first? First, the number whatever we have given, that should be printed, and then some call should happen which will print the next number. Okay, so what we will do initially, when the function call happens, we will simply print 5 as the first number itself, so cout n, and then we'll give a space. And the next thing, that after printing the number, we have to do is we have to again process it for the next number, which is the a number less than -1 than it. So what we will do is we will again call the same function with a value n-1. So this time this same function will be called, but with a parameter n-1. And so in this case n will be 4, and then n will be 4 will be printed, and then again the function will be called for 3. So in this way it will run. Now how will the function get to know when it have to stop? So basically that will be covered in the base case. So that's how we will write the base case. So we will write if n is equals to 0, so which means that whenever the value of n reaches 0, we have to stop. So which means that we will simply return it. So in this case, why we have not taken the n value as 1? Because we have to print the 1 also. If we take n value as 1, then in this case it will return when n is 1. We don't want that. We want 1 to be printed, and when it reaches 0, then only it should return. So this is how this is the recursive function for printing n to 1. Now we will see how this function works, like how it will be called. So I will write it over here only, so that will be much easy to understand. So first of all, in the main function we will write the calling function call statement print n to 1, and we will give simply the number that we have to call. So like we have to call this function for value 5. So what it will do is, first of all, the function will be called let's see how this will be done. First of all, print n to 1 will be called for the value 5. Now when this function will be called for the value 5, it will check if n is equals to 5. No, so it will return. It will not enter in this case, it will not return. It will simply go to the next condition, which is cout n. So it will print 5. Now after printing 5, what it will do is it will again call another function print n to 1 with the, now this time with the value of 4. So again this function will be called, n is not equals to 0, so simply it will move to the next statement, which is printing n, which, so it will print 4. Next it will call print n to 1 with the value of 3. So again it will check n is not equals to 0, so it will print 3, and then call print n to 1 for value 2. Now when it will call for 2, again it will check if n is equals to 0. No, it is not, so it will simply print the value 2 when it reaches this statement, and then it will call print n to 1 for a value of 1. Now again it will check n equals to 0. Now suppose if you have taken n equals to 1, in this case it will not print 1, it will simply return from here. But since we have taken n equals to 0, it will return in the next condition, so it will simply print 1 and then will call print n to 1 again for the next value, which is 0. Now in this time, when it will check for variable 0, n equals to 0, it will see that n is equals to 0, so it will simply return. So it will return means it will return, and now the value print n to 1 function will get the value 1 simply, and all of the function calls will return, and simply that's how the function execution takes place. So firstly 5 will be printed, then 4 will be printed, then 3 will be printed, then 2, and then 1. Because every time we are calling a function, we are what the first thing that we are doing is printing a number, and then we are calling the function. So that is why whenever the function call is happening, first of all the digit is getting printed. So this is how the code will work for it, and the time complexity for this approach will be big O of n, because in the worst case you see there will be n number of calls, and the space complexity also, if you will see, it will be n, because in the call stack, recursion call stack, it can take up to n number of values. So now let's see the code for this. So this is the code, basically the same code which we have seen just now. Let's run this code and see the output that we'll get. So I have called this function for input value 8, so it should give the value 8 to 1. So you can see that we have got the output as 8765432 So that's all for this problem. We'll see another problem which is printing 1 to n in the next video. Thank you.